We previously explained that the whole idea of Galut Mitzrayim, the Midrash questions that since Am Yisrael didn't sin, why did Hashem put them into the Galut, put them in exile? And we can further now ask, as we see in the Parashiyot, Va'era, Bo, Bechala'h, carrying on, we see that Yetziat Mitzrayim was through miracles. In fact, 10 miracles. The number 10 signifies the maximum. But it didn't end there. There were 10 miracles in Egypt, as it says in Avot. Asara nisim ne'asu la'avotenu b'Mitzrayim. Because the plagues, each plague was a miracle, since it affected only the Egyptians and it didn't affect the Jews. So, living together next to one another, the Egyptian gets a cup of blood, and the Jew is drinking nice, pure mineral water. So that was a big miracle. But why did we need these 10 miracles? And then when we left, we had the Kriyat Yam Suf, and in the desert, we had tremendous miracles. You had the Ananei Kavod, we had the Amud Ha'esh, Amud Ha'anan, we had man eating bread from the heavens, drinking water from the Be'er of Miriam, a stone rolling with them in the desert and supplying them with water whenever they needed, and so on and so forth. Why was the whole relationship of Hashem with His people from the very beginning a relationship of miracles? So of course the purpose of Yetziat Mitzrayim, and obviously Memela, automatically also the whole reason for the Galut Mitzrayim, for the exile in Egypt, was to prepare Am Yisrael for their mission in the world, which is to receive the Torah, study Torah, keep the mitzvot, work on our character traits, be good people, do hesed, and be true servants to Hashem in every instance and in every direction of our life. As it says, B'chol derachecha de'ehu, in all your ways know Hashem. Shiviti Hashem lenegdi tamid. Always realize that Hashem is before you and you're facing Hashem. To live such a life, we have to know that Hashem takes care of us, and our existence in the world will be miraculous. Otherwise, there was no hope for us, as we'll explain. So Hashem wanted to prepare us for this concept from the very beginning of our existence, and He brought upon the Egyptians 10 plagues, which were 10 miracles for Am Yisrael, to teach us that He rules over nature, and He can change nature for the benefit of His people, and give continuity and existence to Am Yisrael through ways which are not natural, but way beyond nature. They are all miraculous. That had to be part of our basic build-up as true Avdei Hashem. To be able to serve Hashem, we have to understand Hashem rules over us with miracles. Continuous miracles. As we say every day in Modim, in the Amidah, 3 times, we thank you, Hashem, for the miracles you do for us every day and every minute. Continuously, Hashem does for us miracles. The problem is maybe we're not aware of them, and that's what Hazal said. If people would just pay attention to what's happening to them in their lives, they'll see the miracles and they'll realize Hashem is running the world. But if we go through life oblivious to recognizing Hashem's hand in everything we do, whether it's finding our zivug, whether it's getting married and bringing up a family and having parnasa, making a living, success in our learning Torah, to bring up our children in a wild, vicious world, to be fine and good, and B'nai Torah. These are all great, great miracles which we have to thank Hashem for. So Hashem wanted us from our very birth as a nation, which was in Egypt, to realize that our existence is miraculous. So He brought upon the Egyptians these 10 plagues, and then carried on the whole setup of miracles till Kabbalat Torah on Har Sinai, and then beyond, till they came into Eretz Israel. And then it was a more normal existence. Ishtahat gafno v'te'enato, people had land, they could work on the land, they had more natural circumstances to make a living, they had the prophets, they had the leaders who were teaching Torah, they were settled in their land. But anyone who is not totally ignorant of the books of the Tanakh, Nevi'im, Ketuvim, will become very much aware that the miracles were always there. But they became more hidden miracles. That means those who will believe, and those who want to deny, they can say, oh, that's just, coincidence, it's just by the way. We know there's no coincidence, nothing by the way. Everything is directly decided by Hashem. En adam nokef esba'o melemata em lo guzrim alav melemala. You can't bang your little finger without it being decreed from heaven. Everything is from Hashem. So Hashem created us as a nation with the concept that we have a miraculous existence. For example, there are 6 or 10 different opinions, how many instances of the Torah that the Torah says, don't forget, remember. One of the instances are, remember when you were in the desert, Hashem fed you with bread from the heaven, man. Why do we have to remember that? Hazal say, Lo nitna Torah ela le'ochlei haman. The highest ever level of studying Torah was when the Jews were in the desert, in the wilderness. Why? Because that's all there was. With Hashem, with Moshe, with the elders, studying Torah day and night. So how are they going to live? People need food to live in a desert. Maybe 4 or 5 million people roaming around for 40 years in a desert with nothing, not one blade of grass, not a little puddle of water, nothing. So it had to be miraculous. Hashem taught us a deep lesson. Remember the man. Remember the Be'erah Shel Miriam. Remember how you drank water in the desert. Know that I do miracles for those who serve me. If you're learning my Torah, keeping my mitzvot, serving me truthfully, I take care of you. How? Miraculously. Everything by us is a miracle. We live on miracles. The most minor things. We see Batya, the daughter of Paro, when she saw Moshe's cradle floating in the Nile. It says, "Vatishlachet amata." Literally, it means she sent out her maidservant. Amata is a maidservant. But an Amma is also called the arm. So Vatishlachet ha'am, she sent out her arm. Although she was 10 feet away, she extended her arm to do a mitzvah, to save this baby who was going to bring Torah into the world. What happened? Hazal say her arm stretched for 10 meters. Ishtarbu be'ishtarbab. In everything we do in life, we stretch out our arm. We try. The circumstances are impossible. There's no hope we can be successful. Hashem will make it happen. And that is in all our lives. The miracles continuously are there. Mostly hidden miracles, which we have to be tuned into to appreciate and understand. But also very, very often we see really revealed miracles. I've often mentioned the Jews living in Eretz Israel. in a tiny little strip of land with no empty spaces, and an enemy surrounding us have shot at us maybe hundreds of thousands of missiles, and 99% of them land in empty spaces which don't exist in Israel, and the 1% that hit somewhere in the towns, in the areas which are occupied by people, we hear that just a minute ago the people left to take their kids to school, or the school children were taken home, the school got bombed. Hashem is protecting us miraculously. And this is a revealed miracle now. I mean, this statistically cannot happen. It's impossible. By normal circumstances, I would say that, that out of every 10 missiles, even if they're shot by the most primitive people and uneducated, they don't know what they're doing besides just pressing the button, 1 out of 10 are going to hit. And there could be casualties. But it never happened. Why? Hashem does miracles for us. And then if you look at what's happening in the world around us, thank God, there's lots of blessings for the Jewish nation. People are very successful in their business in a miraculous way if they want to recognize that, and most of the people I know recognize that. They know for sure that it's not their brains. They tell me, I use my brains, I lose money. I make a mistake, I make gigantic profits. Why? Hashem runs the world. He gives pranasa. It's not our brain.